Hello students, welcome to session 1 of your first PUC NCERT chapter number 7, that is structural organization in animals. So while we had studied in animal kingdom, we did discuss that different organs, cells, tissues, organ system and organ level organizations. While we studied in animal kingdom that the individual organism may be made up of single cells, group of cells what we call tissues, group of tissues what we call organ, group of organs what we call organ system. So there are different levels based on what type of organisms are present. When it comes to unicellular organisms, single cell carry all the functions required for that particular organisms. When in multicellular or complex organisms, what happens is there are many cells. Few of the cells are restricted to one particular function and rest few are restricted to another function. That means in a complex body, the cells divide the function and carry out in a proper form. So group of cells performing similar functions are called tissues. So in this chapter, we'll be discussing about different types of tissues. So when it comes to animals having tissues, in animals there are mainly 4 different types of tissues. One is epithelial, connective, muscular, another is neural. So there are 4 different types of tissues present in animals. We'll start the class with studying about epithelial tissues. So these epithelial tissues are normally single layered. Any of the tissue if you consider, they normally lie on a foundation, just like how buildings are formed on a foundation. ಹೇಗೆ ಒಂದು ಮನೆ ಅಥವಾ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟುವಾಗ, ಕಟ್ಟಡವನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟುವಾಗ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ನ ಕಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಸೋ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ದ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಡಸಂಟ್ ಫಾಲ್. ಅದೇ ಥರ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಅದೇ ಥರ ಒಂದು ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಬೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್. This basement membrane is normally secreted from the connective tissue. So basement membrane forms the base for the above line cells. When it comes to epithelial cells, ಇದನ್ನ epithelium ಅಂತಾನೂ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Epithelial cells are necessary for protection. They provide protection to the body. So if you see epithelial cells, either they will be present within the body or outside the body. So inner lining alli athava outer lining alli you can find these epithelial tissues. These are normally single layered cells. When it comes to epithelial cells, as I have told, either they will be facing the blood or they will be facing the external environment. ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಬಾಡಿಯ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಅಥವಾ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. These epithelial tissues based on number of cells present in them can be divided into 2 major types. Epithelial cells are classified into 2 different types based on the number of layers of cells. That will be simple and compound. ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆಗೆ ಎಪಿಥೀಲಿಯಲ್ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂಸನ್ನು 2 ಭಾಗವಾಗಿ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಎಪಿಥೀಲಿಯಲ್ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಎಪಿಥೀಲಿಯಲ್ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂ. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಎಪಿಥೀಲಿಯಲ್ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಲೇಯರ್. ಒಂದೇ ಲೇಯರಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂಸ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಎಪಿಥೀಲಿಯಲ್ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂಸ್ಗೆ ಬರ್ತವೆ. ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಎಪಿಥೀಲಿಯಲ್ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮಲ್ಟಿ ಲೇಯರ್. Many layered cells or tissues come under compound epithelial. If you take simple epithelial tissue, examples will be lining of your reproductive tract, digestive tract, lungs, all these will be example for simple epithelial tissue. When it comes to compound epithelial tissue, that will be your skin. If you remove outer layer of skin, winter season ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಲೇಯರ್ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಶೆಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. That doesn't mean that blood oozes out. ಸೊ ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ come together, perform a same function. That is what is compound epithelial tissue. They are made up of multi layers. Next one, when it comes to simple epithelial tissue, I told you that these are single layer. Now based on the structural modification, ಅವುಗಳ ಆಕಾರದ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆಗೆ if you see simple epithelial tissue, they are further classified into 3 different types. That will be squamous, cuboidal and columnar. All these 3 are together simple epithelial tissue. So how do you classify this simple epithelial tissue into 3 different types? Based on their structural modifications. Epithelial tissues ಅನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು based on the number of layers of cells. ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಸಿಂಪಲ್, ತುಂಬ ಲೇಯರ್ಗಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ನಾವು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ವೈಸ್ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆಗೆ we have classified into 3 different types. ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕ್ವಾಮಸ್, cuboidal and columnar. When it comes to squamous simple epithelial tissue, ಇವುಗಳು single layer. These are single layered cells. These rest on the basement membrane. These are irregular in shape. Simple squamous rest on the basement membrane. Single layer, only one layer will be there. They are having irregular shape. Now if you see or come to the function of this one, ಇವುಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಲೊಕೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ you can find these in blood vessels. This can be seen in blood vessels. You can also see them in lungs. Lungs air sacs alli you can find these. These are present in the blood vessels as well as the lung air sacs. That is about simple squamous epithelial tissue. Next one will be cuboidal. That is simple cuboidal epithelial tissue. These are also single layered, resting on the basement membrane. These are having a shape of cube. Cube shaped structure will be present and they have a nucleus which is present in the center. Next, coming to columnar simple epithelial tissue. They are having tall cells where the nucleus is present at the base. These are also single layered cells and rest on the basement membrane. Ishtu ivugala structure ಬಗ್ಗೆ description. Now when it comes to the function, ivugala functions ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ squamous epithelium have diffusion function. First we should know what is diffusion. Diffusion means movement of molecules from higher concentration level to lower concentration level. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೈಯರ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಇರ್ತವೆ ಅಂಥ ಜಾಗದಿಂದ ಲೋವರ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗೆ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರುವಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ಡಿಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಕ್ವಾಮಸ್ ಎಪಿಥೀಲಿಯಂ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಡಸ್ ದ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಫ್ಯೂಷನ್. ವೆರಾಸ್ ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯುಬಾಯ್ಡಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕೊಲುಮ್ನಾರ್, ಎರಡು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದೇ ಫಂಕ್ಷನನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸೆಕ್ರೀಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ absorption. Both columnar epithelium and cuboidal epithelium undergo the common function, that is secretion and absorption. ಇದರ ಎರಡರಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ some of the columnar cells which is present in the kidney ಅದನ್ನು proximal convoluted tubule ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. that is PCT of kidney. They have finger like projections on the cuboidal cells which are called microvilli. This helps in absorption as well as increasing the surface area. Similarly, in columnar cells also there are presence of this microvilli in certain organs or organ system. That is about 3 different types of simple epithelial tissue. Based on their structure, they can be classified into squamous, cuboidal and columnar epithelium. All these 3 lie on the basement membrane and are single layered. Squamous is irregular in shape, undergoing diffusion function. Cuboidal is cube shape, columnar is tall where the nucleus is present at the base. Both of them undergo a common function of secretion and absorption. Duct glands all have this cuboidal as well as columnar cells. So these undergo secretion and absorption process or function, where some of them have finger-like projections called microvilli, which helps in increasing the surface area as well as absorption. So that is about 3 different types of simple epithelial tissue. These columnar cells are also present in the lining of the stomach as well as intestine. When it comes to some of the epithelial tissues, especially in cuboidal and columnar, they have hair-like projections which are present at the tips of the cell. These hair-like projections are called cilia. Some of the epithelial cells, especially cuboidal and columnar epithelial cells, show hair-like projections on the tip of the cells. Those epithelial cells show the cilia, those are called ciliated epithelium or epithelial cells. These cilia, what is the function of these cilia? This help in pushing the mucus or some particles. Mucus athava some particles anna one directionally. They help in pushing them in only one direction. That is where these cuboidal or columnar cells show the ciliated function. Now, where is the location of this ciliated cuboidal or columnar cells anta keladre? It will be located in the lungs, especially in the bronchioles. Lung bronchioles, you can find this ciliated epithelium. One more location will be the reproductive organ, especially the female reproductive organ, in the fallopian tube. In the fallopian tube, you can find this ciliated reproductive structure in the female reproductive tract, that is especially in the fallopian tube. So in the bronchioles of the lungs, it helps in purifying the air, whereas in the fallopian tube, this helps in easy movement of the egg and helps in implantation. So is cuboidal hage columnar cell tips alli hair like structures ididre adanna cilia anta karitare. ಈ cilia ಇರುವಂತಹ cells ಅನ್ನ ciliated epithelial cells ಅಂತ ಅಥವಾ tissues ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So when it comes to cuboidal or columnar ciliated cells, they normally function in such a way that they help in pushing the mucus or any particles in one single direction. They can be found in the lungs, that is especially in the bronchioles, and in the reproductive tract, that is the female reproductive tract, especially in the fallopian tube. So that is about simple squamous, simple cuboidal, simple columnar and ciliated epithelium. Next one, in case of cuboidal and columnar epithelial, some of the cells show secretions. Some of the cells, some of the cuboidal and columnar cells show or release the secretions. So those cuboidal and columnar epitheliums which release the secretions, those are called glandular cells, or you can also call them glandular epithelium. So those cuboidal and columnar epithelial cells alli ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಎಪಿಥೀಲಿಯಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯೂಬಾಯ್ಡಲ್ ಹಾಗೆ ಕೊಲುಮ್ನಾರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಸೆಕ್ರೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ. ಅಂಥ ಕ್ಯೂಬಾಯ್ಡಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕೊಲುಮ್ನಾರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಗ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಎಪಿಥೀಲಿಯಂ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈ ಗ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಎಪಿಥೀಲಿಯಂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಥರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಯುನಿಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್. ಯುನಿಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಗ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಎಪಿಥೀಲಿಯಂ ಅಂತ ಅಂದರೆ ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ single cell which releases the secretion, isolated single cell releasing the secretion. ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಸೆಲ್ ಆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೀಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ಯುನಿಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಗ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಎಪಿಥೀಲಿಯಂ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ goblet cells. Goblet cells are present in the inner lining of the stomach which release the mucus. Concentrated acidic content ಅಂದರೆ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟೆಡ್ HCl ಸ್ಟಮಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋ ಕಾರಣ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟಮಕ್ ವಾಲ್ ಬರ್ನ್ ಆಗದೆ ಇರೋ ಥರ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಗಾಬ್ಲೆಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಮ್ಯೂಕಸನ್ನು ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ. ಅವುಗಳು ಇನ್ನರ್ ಲೈನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟಮಕ್ಕನ್ನು ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟೆಡ್ HCl ಸ್ಟಮಕ್ ವಾಲ್ಸನ್ನು ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇರೋ ಥರ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಯುನಿಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಗ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಎಪಿಥೀಲಿಯಂ. That means here a single cell or isolated cell release a particular type of secretion. Example will be the goblet cells. Next one is multicellular glandular epithelium. When it comes to multicellular glandular epithelium, here clusters of cells andre group of cells release the same type of secretion. That is where you call multicellular glandular epithelium, meaning that many similar types of cells release a common type of secretion. Example for this will be salivary glands. Which is present in your mouth, which helps in softening of the food. Food ಅನ್ನು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ this is very much necessary. So this salivary gland is an example for multicellular glandular epithelium. So that is one more type of epithelium. Unicellular glandular epithelium, multicellular glandular epithelium. Based on what? Based on the number of cells involved in releasing the secretions. So single cell is involved, it is called unicellular. Many cells are involved in releasing the secretion, it is called multicellular glandular epithelium. Next is based on mode of secretions released. So where does this secretion are released, or where is the secretion is released, based on which one you can further classify them into two different types. That will be exocrine, another is endocrine. So the release of secretion is released into which particular region. Based on that one you can classify the epithelium into two different glands, that is exocrine gland and endocrine gland. When it comes to exocrine, these are having ducts. So duct ಇರುವಂಥ ಗ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ we call it exocrine, whereas ductless glands are called endocrine. So with the duct, that is exocrine, without duct, that is endocrine. Now let me tell you what is or how does this exocrine works and how does this endocrine work. Now imagine this is a gland. So it has secreted some secretions. These secretions are collected in a duct before they are released into the target organ. Target organ ಗೆ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗೋ ಮುಂಚೆ ಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಸೆಕ್ರೀಷನ್ಸು ಗ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇಂದ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಗೆ ಬರೋ ಮುಂಚೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ exocrine gland. For example, if you see liver is the gland which secretes bile. ಬೈಲ್ ಜ್ಯೂಸನ್ನು ಸೆಕ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಬೈಲ್ ಡಕ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆದ ನಂತರ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್ಗೆ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಫಾರ್ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್. ಸೊ ಸೆಕ್ರೀಷನ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಡಕ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸೋಕ್ರೈನ್ ಗ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್, that is with duct. So the glands produce the secretion which are transferred or stored in duct before they are released into the target organ. Those are called exocrine. Now what is the endocrine gland? Now endocrine gland means here there will be no involvement of duct. So here the gland produces secretions which are directly taken by the target organ. ಗ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇಂದ ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಗೆ ಸೆಕ್ರೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕೆಪ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅ ವೈಲ್ ಇನ್ ಎನಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೈ ಎಂಡೋಕ್ರೈನ್ ಗ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಡಕ್ಟ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಗ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್. Now example for exocrine gland, you can give digestive enzymes, or as I have told, I have given you the example of digestive juices, milk, oil, wax. All these are example for exocrine glands. Whereas endocrine glands, all the hormones produced in your body, growth hormones, oxytocin, thyroxine, all these hormones are example. All the hormones are directly released into the target organ, that is they are directly released into the blood, and from blood they are carried into the target organ. That is about two different types based on the way or mode of transfer of this secretion. Exocrine with the duct glands, endocrine without duct or ductless glands. Next we will have to study about compound epithelium. When it comes to compound epithelium, you can see that in a compound epithelium there is a basement membrane which is having multi-layered cells. All these are similar types of cells. Now if you remember in simple epithelium, I did tell that these are single layered cells, but whereas in case of compound epithelium, these will be multi-layered cells, many layered cells. So here you can easily identify what might be the function. The function of this multi-layered epithelium will be protection as well as absorption. So the location of this compound epithelium will be one on the skin. As I have told, that skin is multi-layered, helps in protecting. Whereas when it comes to the multi-layer absorption function, you can find them in the pharynx region. You can also find them in the salivary gland region. So all these show the compound type of epithelial tissues. Now once again, to discuss about epithelial tissue, I will draw a flow chart so that it is easy for you to understand. Epithelial can be classified into two types, simple and compound. Simple epithelial is classified into three types, that is squamous, cuboidal and columnar. If these both have cilia, they are called ciliated cells. If these both have secretions, these are called glandular. If the glandular have single cell secretion, then it is unicellular. If they have many cells undergoing or producing the secretion, it is called multicellular. Next, based on the mode of secretion or where it is being transferred, these glandular epithelium or unicellular or multicellular can be classified into two different types, exocrine and endocrine. Exocrine with the duct glands, endocrine without duct glands. This is how you can classify the epithelial tissue, that is especially the simple epithelial tissue, and the next one will be the compound epithelial tissue. So that is a clear-cut idea about the first type of tissue, that is epithelial tissue. In together they undergo the function of diffusion, protection, absorption. That is about epithelial tissue. Next we have to study about two different cells. That means when it comes to epithelial cells, that means these two cells are held together. In case of epithelial tissues, there is very less space between two different cells. That is what we call intercellular matrix. Intercellular matrix space is very much less in the epithelial tissue. Why? Because the cells are closely placed to each other. Now when it comes to the epithelial tissues, there are different cell junctions which are involved. When it comes to cell junction, it is the interaction between two different cells. They might be classified into three different types, that is tight junction, adhering junction and gap junction. When it comes to tight junctions, in this two cells are held together very tight. They are held together very tight, that means there is no space in between two cells. The intercellular matrix is not at all present. They are held together very compact or tight. Adhering junction means there is a space between two different cells, but they are cemented in between the cells by matrix. Intercellular matrix is present here. These cements this fills the gap between two different cells. Next one is the gap junction. So here is enough space or intercellular matrix space which is present between two different cells, which helps the cells in communicating with each other. That is about three different types of cell junction. Tight junction, two cells are tightly bound without any intercellular matrix space. Adhering junction, two cells are separate from each other but they are cemented in between. Gap junction, there is a space between two different cells where the cells can easily communicate between each other. So these are the different types of cell junctions which are present in our body. So we will wind up this session. So in today's class we did study about four different types of animal tissues, that is epithelial, connective, muscular and neural. Wherein epithelial tissue was discussed in detail, we did study that there are two different types, simple and compound, based on the layer of cells. Simple is further classified based on their cell modification or structural modification into squamous, cuboidal and columnar. These are further classified based on the presence of cilia, based on the production of secretion and mode of secretion released. And one more was compound epithelial tissue, along with which we also have studied the three different types of communication method between the cells, that will be cell junction, tight junction, adhering junction and gap junction. So that is all for today's class. Next class we will be studying about connective, muscular and neural. Thank you.